me from the street, but if you're not coming over, you can light up my dreams. Every snowfall reminds me to call, 'cause I know if you're not here, then it's not Christmas at all. But this year, oh, I believe you're coming back to me. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around. If you're coming around. It feel like Christmas every day of the year, but I can't feel it by myself. Only works if you're here. And a little bit of magic and a little faith can make every storm that's ever come just fade away. Now every front door reminds me of you, all decorated, anticipating good news. I've got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list. To be your angel when the sun's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around. If you're coming around. I don't want much this time of year, I know. Everyone wants to feel less alone. But just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, you're coming around. If you're coming around. If you're coming around. It's only Christmas. I'll be your angel when the sun's coming down. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around.
Anywho, howdy y'all, we're back. Finally, we've made it. Finally, the vlog pastors have returned to the podcast. So,
What a morning, man. Appreciate you guys hanging in there. Late start.
yes, we have got to give some props to everybody hanging out. John Hayes jumping in says, you were having some computer issues. You said it was a
Oh,
mouse
yeah.
in your vlog, so just steal Jessica's mouse.
Yeah, it turns out it's a little more complicated than a mouse. I was wondering why, like, it was crashing, and then I'm like, Jesse was like, it was the mouse, because as soon as we inserted the mouse and dumped several terabytes of data off of my computer, but as soon as we inserted the mouse, she was like, I fixed it, it works. So I was like, yeah, technically it was a mouse, but it was crashing. I don't think a mouse was causing it to crash over and over. And then this morning, our fun shenanigans with learning this new Sony imaging system.
Right? Yep.
For me, on my end.
Andy says
Yours
that he was asking, he's like, I thought it was a mouse problem. And I said, I think it was the wrong mouse. One must have crawled in and started chewing the wires inside your PC. So it's just like,
That's no joke, man. I've had mice before. Those things need to die.
they do. We get them every now and then. It's like this time of year, winter, comes in, temperatures get down. They're looking for a warm place. My wife is cold-blooded, which means our house is always nice and toasty. And if a mouse can find its way in, it's going to. But
Oh, yeah.
I've got, Flower, that little poodle dog, which, by the way, Jarrod, you froze up again. But that little poodle dog, Flower, she's a mouser. She loves to just chase those things and get a hold of them and chew them up if she can.
So is Mouser a thing? Is that a real deal? I hear that around here.
Yeah.
People say, she's a Mouser.
Yeah, that it's definitely a real thing. There are dog breeds out there. Poodles aren't typically known as being Mousers, but they are. And she will. I mean, like we've had times where, you know how, maybe you don't know, I don't know, but sometimes the mice will get like in the walls and you can't hear. I mean, it sounds like you've got, badgers running through your house because everything echoes inside a hollow wall. And it's just this little mouse just kind of, scratching away.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she'll pinpoint it and she'll go over. And
That's awesome.
so it's just, yeah, she's on it.
We recently, and I figured out what it was finally, but we heard something. We've never had a mouse in this house. We have 19 cats, as you've seen from the vlogs, something like that. Probably 13 cats. They just constantly come and go. Neighbor cats, our cats, that sort of thing. And Jesse feeds them all. Yep. So my rules are we can have 19 cats as long as we have 0 mice. And a couple weeks ago,
if there's mice, the cats aren't hungry and you're feeding them too much. So you stop feeding the cats.
Fair enough. But I mean, with 19 of them, we got to do something.
Yeah,
so I heard something on our tin roof. We have an exterior roof, and then our interior roof is made of like a chicken house corrugated tin.
Yeah.
And I heard tick, 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 tick. I mean, forever. It sounded like a block party up there. I think we've mentioned it before. And I found out what it was. I thought it's bigger than a mouse. Mm-hmm. It's got to be like a raccoon got up in there, must have tore the ridge cap off or something. Yep. Found like a little bitty hole in the ridge cap. We're good to go there. It was a squirrel. Saw it the other day. Nice. It may or may not be with us anymore. I haven't squirrels in my attic, but it was a block, and my dog just sit there like, dude, you got to check that out. I can't sleep at night.
Yeah, you mentioned it in one of your vlogs because wasn't that where you almost shot your eye out? Oh no, that was a bird.
That was a bird.
that was a bird. That's what that one was. Yeah. Oh, and that just made my day because I almost had you do a spit take all over your new gear. That would have been just the time. But yes, Andy was in the house. Andy is in the house. Andy McMillan, who gave us one of the greatest vlog topics. Yeah. We're going to come back to that. I want to get to some of these content or comments, and then we'll come back to that. But yes, Andy's here. Let's see. Go down here. I see, yes, John Hayes saying we had some new tunes. Yep, for December on the Vlog Pastors podcast. I'm just going to randomly grab some of the extra music that I have been listening to while trying to find music for the vlogs, and it just doesn't quite fit with what I want to do, or it does, but only in a small way, and I liked it, so we're going to add it to it. So Jason Remster saying, hello, all. John was saying we're not doing a silly song intro to support today's video. Ooh. We are the pirates who don't do anything. There we go. That's just that. You're missing out. I'm telling you. Vaughn Sanders saying it's Thursday. Dean Lentini. Hey fellas. Tomlinson Road. Digging the Christmas tunes. Happy Thursday, everybody. Yeah, and then Clint Zeller, who gave us a fun transition for tomorrow.
I filmed my stuff. I filmed my video. I did as many edits as I could in a short amount of time. I'm trying to get ready for something because I got a couple days where I'm not going to be able to film. And then you're like, oh yeah, by the way, Clint and Ken and Dennis and those guys, they sent over their video ideas. So I've got to reshoot that puppy. Not that they're not hard enough, Clint. I don't know if you've done the masking on try to run through walls and jump into cars and stuff like that. Thank you. And then Dennis is like the eyeball one.
Yeah. Well, now here's the hard part about these. Honestly, here's the hard part about transitions like this. I've done the jump into a car door before, and I thought I could take.
You did it well.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I could just do it easy. He just wants to see me do it. Fine, I'll just take that clip, drop it in the vlog, and there, you get to see it again.
Cheater, fucking eater.
So I thought I could do that, and then I was like, oh, wait, what if I like incorporate some drone footage, and I'm like falling through the sky, and then I was like, no, I'm not making this any harder on myself than I want to.
Good call, because even locked off in stabilization mode, it's doing this.
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I mean, it's 4K resolution. All you got to do is apply a...
Track it.
What do you mean to try? No, just set it up there, let it hover. It's going to move around a little bit. And then when you drop it in Premiere, all you need to do is add a warp stabilizer and make sure that there's no motion instead of smooth motion, which is the default. No motion, it's going to freeze and lock onto one central point, and it's not going to budge.
Maybe if you used After Effects and you were tracking it, maybe. Well, I want to see you do this one. Do it.
At some point I will, because it's a great idea. It's not going to be for tomorrow. I was up way too late editing last night, and then I missed my alarms, and that means I didn't get to my bus route on time, and boss had to bail me out with part of my kids. So yeah, that was a late night boo-boo. But when I'm thinking about these, I thought about that, and then of course, Dennis with the eye, and I'm like, oh, the eye. What if I do an infinite loop on the eye? And then I'm like, it just keeps going in, and I was like, ooh, that would be fun. This is the problem with me. It's the problem with me. I get an idea and I take it to an extreme, and I spend all of this time on one little thing. And it's that one little thing that takes me forever to do that nobody ever notices in the videos.
Yep.
And it's the stupid things where I just grab a headband out of my sock drawer and I fling it at the camera, and everybody notices that. And they're like, oh, that was hilarious. I loved when you stretched over and groaned. I'm like, I didn't even have to work at that. I just bent over, and that was a natural groan. That was
natural. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of what that was. Andy says, I am excited to watch Brownie begin to transition tomorrow.
Floating coffee hand.
So I was...
There we go. Got you trained.
That was actually a squeak that made it out. I wasn't trying to let that one out. That just went...
It sounded right. It sounded about like what I do.
Yes. And Dustin Damesworth asking the question, is the transitions video done yet? I mean, do y'all really have time to be live with all the work for tomorrow?
Bro.
No, we don't have time, but we're going to do it.
You don't even know.
I haven't even recorded any of my transitions. I haven't recorded anything at this point for tomorrow. So
what we're trying to, and not just the level at which we're trying to do this, the timetable, because we have like you guys do. You've got parties going on, you've got church going on. Jesse and I have scheduled a vacation inside of this time frame, so we're actually going to be out of pocket for multiple days sometime during this month. I don't think it would be wise to say when that is, but multiple days we're going to be gone, so we have to we got to figure out how to pre-bake a bunch of videos in a short period of time. So
yeah, it's rough. It's definitely rough. And here's the funny part about this. We had the idea back in August. We talked about it. Come September, we were both kind of on board with this. Come October, I was adamantly against this. And I was like, no, let's not do this. And then when you said you were in, I was like, okay, I'm in. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, when I said I was in, just he throws it out there just like that. He's like, man, I'm really thinking about Vlogmas. I think this could be a fun time. You want to do it again? You revved it up, man.
I revved it up, but then when you said yes, then all of a sudden reality sunk in. That it was like, oh wait, what are we doing? No, let's not do this.
Because I drugged my feet for 2 months, going, Joshua, don't you remember?
And
Joshua, don't you remember?
And I have already told my wife that if she loves me, she will tell me never do a daily vlogging challenge ever again.
Apparently, my wife loves me immensely. She tells me all the time how much she loves me.
I think it's just revenge for Genevieve. I think she is getting revenge by letting me do this because I spend so much money on gear. She's like, oh, really?
She's going to earn it.
Yeah, now you're going to put that thing to use.
Yes.
So
I'm having a blast though. There's no other way to learn a new system. For you a drone, for me this whole, what is this, A7S3 thing, Sony World.
Yeah.
I mean, just you and I this morning navigating the menus.
Right. Yeah. Right before it's like, we're gonna go live. Let's go ahead and do this. And then it was like, Although, you know what? Dustin has the greatest comment right here. It is exactly what it is. This is not Vlogmas anymore. It is No Sleep December.
Oh, dude. I feel that. Don't you feel a little giddy, like going to bed 2, 3 every morning?
Yeah.
Waking up 6, 7 every morning.
Delirious.
Multiple weeks. You're like,
delirious. Yeah, like
Seeing-
last night, it was 4:30 a.m. when my head hit the pillow, and I look at the alarm, and I go to hit it set, and it says, "Do you want to set your alarm to wake you up in 58 minutes?" And I'm like, my 5:30 alarm, maybe I should just stay up. Nah, I'll go to sleep. I can wake up in an hour.
Nah.
Bad idea. I should have just grabbed a pot of coffee and stayed up, pulled an
Yeah, but
all-nighter.
if something were to have happened and you were driving bus, I mean, you would feel terrible. The kids are safe, I promise. I'm fine.
This is true. And I have had those moments where I have been that exhausted. And it's usually from driving other trips late at night and then trying to get in, because it's like editing and doing stuff like this and getting a couple hours of sleep, not a big deal. It's not that strenuous on my eyes. Driving late at night is very strenuous on my eyes. And that's where it becomes an issue getting up with just a few hours of sleep in the morning, because it's like my eyes just haven't recovered because they're old.
Have you noticed? I was holding my hand up a minute ago. I'm trying to hold it perfectly still. I've noticed that my body is real, like, I'm not playing right now, but my body's real jittery. I'm running off of caffeine and no sleep.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
we're running off of Vlogmas adrenaline.
and whatever that little ching thing is that happens every time you say Vlogmas,
Yeah.
a little bit of that magic.
I was going to drop that in on like my road, but I thought we would be saying it so much that I wouldn't be able to keep up with
wear
it.
it out. Yeah.
I would have to have like Micah over here just pressing the same button over and over again, and probably hurt her finger. Jason Remster saying that's what coffee is for, and we know how much Josh loves it. Boy, howdy. Genevieve saying she doesn't feel sorry for him. Ha ha.
That a girl. That a girl.
Ha ha.
We made this bed. Let's lie in it.
let's lie in it. So back up to what we had. We were getting ready to talk about this. Before we get into this, let's go ahead. Let's roll the intro, because we have a tendency of not rolling the intro.
Do it.
And when we don't roll the intro, well, you know what happens. So rolling intro now.
Welcome to the Vlogpastors Podcast, a podcast all about the stories and strategies of sharing God's love in the digital world. Now, here are two pastors that love to put a camera in their face and walk around in public. They are the Harry and Lloyd of digital ministry, Jarrod Brown and Joshua Verwers.
I didn't see that coming.
Yep, that's right. This man right here, Jarrod, is dumb, and I'm dumber.
Didn't see that coming. It's appropriate, but I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, I was listening back through our, what are we calling those? What was I calling them? They're descriptors, I think is what I had referred to them as. And so I was going back through, I don't know how many we batched out. I think, I don't know, like 40 or 50 of them. Everybody was giving us a ton of great ideas. And so we had those, and every week I go through and I scroll through, and it was next in line. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect timing for this week and this day alone, because we just dropped vlogs talking, answering the question from Andy McMillan, does everybody own a water buffalo?
You couldn't have asked anything more foreign than that particular question to me. So you're like, hey, yeah, Andy is asking this question. Does anybody have a water buffalo, or does everyone have a water buffalo? Yeah. See, I don't even know. I had to Google that thing, and it's Veggie Tales, and I told you, I'm like, what in the world's going on here? You're like, I think it'll be fun. Just go ahead and discover it. Just keep on recording.
Yep.
I'm like,
document the journey. And hey, as somebody who I love Veggie Tales, I absolutely love Veggie Tales. Those silly songs with Larry, I sing them all the time. It's just, everybody's got a water buffalo. Yours is fast and mine is slow.
So, quick question. It was a 93. It was a 93 release, right? So that wouldn't have been your childhood.
No. So I actually, when I got into Veggie Tales, it was more early 20s. So it had been out for about 10 years, and that's where I really started to get into it. But it was because I had, kids that I was around, either that I was babysitting or that nieces and nephews, and they loved it. I mean, they absolutely just loved it. And it's like now, I mean, you set me in front of, I walk into the living room. My girls are watching My Little Pony. I sit down, I start watching it with them. They get up and leave, and an hour later, I'm still watching My Little Pony. And I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Wait a minute.
And that was the thing with VeggieTales. And then all of a sudden I noticed that I'm driving in the car, and all of a sudden I'm singing silly songs with Larry. And it's like, oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? Oh, where is my hairbrush? And it's just, these are just the silliness that comes out. I loved VeggieTales. And then Logan loved Larry the Cucumber because he had a superhero rendition of himself being Larry Boy, which was kind of like a Batman-esque type of a deal. And it was amazing. So I loved it. But if you haven't seen that, then you probably haven't seen What's in the Bible, have you?
No.
Well, now you need to go watch What's in the Bible.
I'm straight pagan, apparently.
Nope. Seriously, you have to go watch What's in the Bible, especially like the first episode. You might recognize a couple of fellas in there that sing a song about Genesis that begins it all. They're known as the Fabulous Bentley Brothers, although most people know them as Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning.
Oh, okay.
So it's like they do a few of those different songs inside there, and instead of this being cartoon characters, it's puppets, which is just hilarious. It's pure comedy gold.
I had no clue what I'm looking at. I mean, to give some context to my vlog from today, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. But Jesse and I, it was a genuine thing. We're gonna give it a try. I knew it was a kids thing, so we kind of lowered our expectations. Thought it was gonna be a little quirky and whatnot. It's a pickle.
It's a cucumber.
Sorry, Larry the Cucumber. Let me get his name right. I'm sorry. It's a pickle in a cowboy hat singing about nonsense. And we're like, okay, surely we missed it. We missed the deeper level here where we're ministering to our kids. And I got what you were saying in your vlog. Like, some of it's just silly. We're made for humor. Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, my computer's going nuts again. But
we'll deal with it.
When we sat down and got through the lyrics, and we're like, okay, what is this in the context of the video that it comes from?
Nothing. What you would need to do is you would need to watch like a full episode of VeggieTales where one of the silly songs are in, and then you start to see and understand, okay, why was he singing these silly songs? And I'm telling you, it's now, I mean,
it got all the 5 minutes that it's ever going to get of my entire life. Unless I'm, like you said, unless I'm watching somebody's kids and they want to blow off the archives and bring up VeggieTales.
It is hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious. I'm telling you, you got to do it. John Hayes doing a little call out for What's in the Bible. Did you say Bible? It's like,
I'm guessing that's an inside.
Yes, What's in the Bible. You'll get it.
Yuck.
You'll see it.
Yuck.
Genevieve asking about Bible Man. Jarrod, have you ever seen Bible Man?
No.
Okay, don't.
No, you bunch of Christians. What's wrong with you? No, I'm just watching real TV.
So if you remember what's his name from Charles in Charge, not Charles, but was it Buddy? Did you ever watch Charles in Charge?
I watched Charles in Charge, but I don't remember anybody but Charles.
Okay, so like Charles' best friend Buddy played the character Bible Man, which was like a Bible superhero, poorly made. Like, I mean, it has like Hallmark quality video and yes, and that's a shout out for all of you Hallmark movie lovers. Those are like budget films, and everybody can see their budget films. I've seen better produced YouTube videos from the likes of us. So,
oh my.
Now the stories are good. Or wait, let me clarify. The story is good because it's the same story. But then again, that's kind of the best preaching, isn't it? You just have like one sermon and 1,000 sermon titles. I need to figure out how to do that with a vlog. Like where it's the same thing over and over and over again, which is essentially, I guess, what Casey Neistat did, right?
Pretty much our channels. It's the same message over and over. You know?
It is. It's just, I don't know. It's good stuff. So that was this morning. Tomlinson Road. Yes, you're calling the descriptor on the next batch order from Fiverr. We will be known as the Larry and Bob of digital ministry. I think John Hayes had also asked the other day, if I remember right, the Clive and Ian of digital ministry. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Oh, you know it is going to happen. And then Jarrod will have to figure out who he is. So I don't know. Anywho, so
sorry, dude. I'm frozen like nobody's business.
That's all right. You can be frozen. We can just look at your face right there, and imagine that you're a ventriloquist.
I'm moving around here.
It'll work. Your next purchase is going to have to be a Camlink 4K.
Dude, I'm buying it right now, like literally, while we're having this conversation. I'm on the interwebs.
Like it's game changer. Once you get it, you'll like you don't know. But I mean, even your vlog from the other day, which was amazing, the vlog that I edited, which was an amazing edit by the way.
Yeah, not to pat myself on the back here. Toot.
No, honestly, I thought your edit
nuts,
of my video was better than mine of your video.
I had so much fun on your video.
It was a blast. I mean, it was a riot. I was loving the choices you made. The majority of it, like obviously it was the same story that I would tell and a lot of the same edit choices that I would make, but there were a few different things that you did, especially like playing with the pitching on the voice. I wouldn't have done that. I mean, I did it in today's vlog, but that's because I saw you do it and I was like, ooh, I liked how he did that.
Well, you know how it goes. It's like it's part of the creative process. I'm watching it. You said, editor extraordinaire, and you're doing your thing, and I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be great if he was like in a stadium? So I was messing around with audio, and I got in the wormhole, and I got to thinking, wait a minute, this could be a thing. This could be a shtick for the rest of his video, and I spent way too much time messing around with audio levels.
Yeah.
Now here's what I think was so much fun about those vlogs. You in your storytelling type, which I agree with, most of the time I shoot this way, you have one story. You gave me the story. Like you turned on the camera, you were in it. There was some sort of lead up to it, and this is what you're saying. You're talking about getting the drone, and you were only talking about that, which means it was really hard to deviate from that story because you had it in mind and you shot with the edit in mind. I let mine roll. So I was very surprised by the storyline that you pulled out of it. And I was also very, very, very thankful that you chose some of the things that you chose and left some of the things that you didn't, because these guys may or may not know it. And I don't care because it doesn't bother me. That I got pretty upset with my wife that day. I just released a video about how awesome she is and how amazing. When I stand by all of those things, she's also the number one person to jump on my feet whenever I'm trying to start hey guys, what's up and welcome back. Baby, did you make sure to open up the microwave? Yep. It's beeping over. Okay. Yeah, babe. Hang on. Record the video. Hey guys, what's up? Baby, did I tell you? I got so mad, and you had to edit through some of that stuff.
Well, and for those that, I mean, obviously they didn't see the footage that we saw, and I left that out of the edit. And it's not that I wasn't trying to, show that, or I thought, oh, well, I don't want to do that to them. No, that wasn't it. I figured if you recorded it, it was fair game. Because I figured you could have just, nope, I'm just going to take this file out. I don't want that to be in there. I don't want this, and that would have been fine. It was more a case that when I kind of scrubbed through and I listened to everything, you had about 4 different storylines that I could have went down. And I was trying to find the one that was going to be maybe the easiest for me to navigate through. And so as I was looking at that, I'm thinking, all right, what can I do here? I picked that lane, and then when it came to that footage that you would record where, you were talking about how you were frustrated, but you also came back in and said how much you appreciate what she does. So it wasn't like you were just, bashing her, putting her down by any means. When I was thinking about that, it was like, if I add this, it doesn't really add to the story that I was trying to tell through the edit. And because of that, it's just kind of filler, and it doesn't tie in any way. It would just it would seem out of place. And that's where I was like, nah, I'm just going to scrap it and leave it out. And I had to do that with a lot of footage because you left me a lot of footage.
What are you talking about? Yours was like, by the time it was all said and done, it was like 40 minutes. I think I sent you over how much?
I don't even know how much it was in total. It was a lot. That's all I know is it was a lot. I'm trying to see if I can even pull that up. I don't think it'll even.
Oh, don't crash your computer, man. Our computers are so finicky.
No, mine's not
If I
as
sent
bad
you,
as yours is right now.
if I sent you over an hour, I would be surprised, and I probably sent you something that I didn't mean to send you. But yours was every bit of 40 minutes with the drone and the kids and unboxing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was so good. That was so much fun. I had a blast. I appreciate that we do have like a standing respect for one another, that we're not going to mock each other. We're not
Right.
going to try and belittle or anything like that.
Oh,
I think it could very easily go somewhere in that direction if we were
you just
being
wait.
vicious.
We're not done with this month yet. The mockery is going to happen.
Yeah, the good and fun jesting, that's fine. But
Okay, so looking back at this, I guess maybe it's not as much footage as I thought.
what we got?
I'm looking at let's see, there's about 10, 25, maybe 28 minutes.
20. Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's not too bad. What do you got to say about that?
I'm gonna float through blue space and ponder eternity
Yes, that's just what you're going to do.
on my chest, apparently.
So no, as far as the swap, the edit would go, I enjoyed editing, and this is kind of what I wanted to get into, because I think it was I want to say it was it Vaughn that had mentioned it on one of our videos or asked about it. If you guys are here and you had kind of asked that question, I apologize for not knowing exactly who it was that said it, but somebody had asked about editing, and I want to get that question here, because I think it was on my video, wasn't it? Let me go back through here, and I'm just going to pull these up.
It was Vaughn.
I want to say it was Vaughn. Vaughn's asked some pretty good, more technical questions on that. So let me see if I can search for Vaughn, pull up all of his comments here real quick. Yeah, so if I'm looking, I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe I'm completely off base and I just can't see it. It was about editing, wasn't it? Are you thinking it was the same? I don't know. You still there, Jarrod? Maybe Jarrod is completely gone.
Yes, I'm still here. I said, let me pull it up here on the screen because I can do absolutely nothing today. This is a mess. Let's go with, when was that?
Well, that's the hard part when we try to pull this back up, because we're so far in and around, and everything is intertwining, and it's trying to figure out exactly what it was. But I guess my thought is going on this. What was your feeling on editing? And is it something that, like, from a personal standpoint, you run a video production company, but you're also running your own YouTube channel and making stuff for church and stuff like that. So Here the question would be, what's your thoughts on getting an editor? When you think about maybe hiring out an editor or sourcing it out, whether it be somebody that you're kind of training and teaching how to do it, apprenticeship type of deal, what are your thoughts on that? What's the good and bad of it? Give me some thoughts.
Okay. Well, I think it depends on where your heart is for either your channel or your project or your church or whatever. I come from, in this process, I'm growing and going to have to be forced into doing a different thing, but I come from the creative side of it. And so on the creative side of it, you want unlimited control. You need to have, it's not only, which you are very well versed in because you've edited 2 other people's videos here recently. You not only want to be in control of the filming process because you know what the edit's going to take. You definitely want to be in control of the edit because the edit is where it's three-quarters of the battle.
Yeah.
You can really do something with nothing in some of those, and sometimes you have nothing to work with. Sometimes you just got to shoot with the environment that's around you, with the people that are in it, and you got to make things happen. So handing that over as a creative to Joe Billy Bob, in Southern India, that's his name, Joe Billy Bob in Southern India, to edit your video, it's a risk. And then maybe somebody in town, or you got a kid that you can just do some rough cuts with. It still requires a setup and a process and a relinquishing of creative, control over it. But if you want to grow, or if you want to have a life or time outside of some of this stuff, you're going to have to relinquish it, especially as you grow. That's why you see a lot of these Peter McKinnons and not Casey, but Maddie Hapoyas and those that group. They're obviously of the mind that you need an editor, otherwise you're going to go insane, and that's probably pretty true.
Yeah.
What do you think? You can expand more business wise, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you have an editor, if you're able to relinquish some of that, even if you got a team that can run and shoot it and you're doing the editing, or if you can figure out how to relinquish some of that stuff, then you're going to be able to produce more quickly.
Yeah.
In a quicker manner. But I think it's not going to still have the same exact fingerprint as whenever you are the entire creative. Go ahead.
I think it's it won't have the same fingerprint on it. However, I think there is a time when you can start to do it. And actually, Dean got us here. He got the comment. He said Vaughn had asked if you think the other one was able to convey your story the way that you thought. It might have been wanted or what you expected. And yes, Dean, that was the question that I was thinking about.
It's on mine.
Okay, so it was on yours, which is why I wasn't able to find it. But is that how he phrased it? Have you got that up there?
Yeah, he said, let me just pull it up real quick for you. Hold on. Let me fly through the air. Very cool. I'm curious if you each thought the other was able to convey and maintain the story and message you intended.
Yeah. So from my perspective, and we touched a little bit on this, from my perspective, 100%. Like, that is the exact story that I was planning on telling, but you, being the editor for that, you knew that without me even telling you or anything, because, like you said, I recorded everything with the edit in mind. And because of that, like, you would have just had to completely drop the ball and been a complete noob at editing to miss out on that story. Because it was every single clip, it was in reference pointing to me going and getting this drone. So there wasn't anything. There were editing styles and little flavors, maybe a little polish, and different things that you put in on there that I wouldn't have done. It probably went a little bit longer than I would have done it, because there were a few moments. I mean, and my videos, I like them to be quick and snappy.
That would be something fun for you and I to like go through your video and find out like the rough portion of it, like the raw clips, and then the finished edit, and find out where you chop that down.
So there was only, I think, one or two spots that I noticed. And I probably would have saved, when I was watching it back the second time, I think I only would have shaved off about 45 seconds. And maybe it might not even be that. There were a couple of the dialogue moments that I had either said it just prior or said it in a similar way in another spot. But it was enough of a difference that I understood why you left it in there. But being the one that said it, I realized, oh, wait, I already said that. Why did I say it again? But when I'm recording, sometimes I can't remember what I said the previous time.
Right.
So then I just record that, and it often sounds different. And then in my edit, I do that where I've got two of these setting up, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, it's the same thing. Which one makes more sense, to be in this scene or be in this scene? Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing I would have done. And you kind of left those both in there. And from the outside perspective that hasn't already said it 3 different times now and then watched it, because that's the thing. It's like, I said it, I heard it, I said it, I heard it, I said it, I heard it. Then I watched you editing it. after you had edited it, and I watched it play back, and it was like, yeah, I said that a couple times. Those are the only things, but somebody that watches it for the first time, they're never going to notice that. And that's where I'm just nitpicky on that stuff.
That is something I'm trying to hone in over the next couple of videos. I think I mentioned it. I don't know if it came out in this one. I'm getting so lost. Did it come out today? I haven't even seen today. I was so tired.
What
Anyway,
were you
if
trying
it comes,
to do?
maybe it's the one that I'm editing for tomorrow. But I said basically my videos have been like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And unless you're totally bought in, which I assume for Vlogmas, it's us, it's the core.
Yeah.
12 minutes, even for you guys, is a huge sacrifice out of your day. So I want to try and trim those up a little bit and get a little cleaner and a little bit more polish on there. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yep.
I never know. That's my challenge. I never know where to cut it.
And that's the other hard part. And I think this is where, not to put words in your mouth, but here's what, if I were you and had me edit my video the way that I edited your video, I would have been looking at it and been like, interesting, because I would have put a lot of that stuff in there and not left it out.
Yeah.
I wonder why he made those choices to leave it out.
That's a really, really good idea. That's a nice perspective right there, because I had that exact thought. I thought that is not the story I would have told from the video that I gave you.
Yeah.
In my head, I would have gone, so there's just like a couple clips where I'm dropping off the package. And I don't know if you were saving that for a potential video that could come out later, or if it just wasn't that interesting. But to me, in my mind, when you're living the moment, not what you're filming for somebody else, but when you're living it, the most important thing of the day was not necessarily what you told, but was the return of the package.
Yeah, and here's where part of that crept in, because you returning the package, part of that was I knew you were working on a video for that. And so I thought, well, I can leave a little bit of a teaser in there, and to include what you left me, it didn't feel like it was enough of a teaser. So it was like, I either need to do like a flash type of this is real quick, we're going to mention it, but we're not going to draw attention to it. And it's just it's just hanging and dangling there to kind of just sprinkle a little bit of an appetite, or it's got to be a full-blown kind of, hey, this is coming, it's going to be doing it. And that's how I see different things. And when I was listening back through it, I couldn't get my mind around how to tie it into a full-blown teaser. And because of that, it was like, okay, so now I just need to do the little sprinkle. But
I gotcha.
And it was crazy, because I was sitting there thinking about, from like your perspective, I was like, man, how cool would it have been if I had just done what you did, where it was like, record everything. And you were recording 3 different videos at the same time, and some of that was overlapping with what I had, and even like part of the footage that I had is what you used in the day prior in that video, and I didn't notice it until, because I was wondering, like that video of you looking, I think you were looking off towards your bedroom or something, you're sitting there on the chair and you're, talking about the arm being chopped off, and then you get up and you go walk over and you're kind of looking down and talking in the other room. And I thought for sure you were talking to Jesse at that time. But then I get the edit the next day and it's like, oh, wait, he was talking to me on the camera.
Yep.
So it was like
that
the day
was
prior, I had no clue.
That was one of the challenging moments of that. Like, just letting the camera roll, that's fine, because you set up an extra camera. But I found myself talking to you rather than talking to the camera. I don't know if that helped or hurt. But I kept on saying, okay, Joshua, this is, you do whatever you want to do with it. I don't know where this is going. This is what I'm doing over here.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop talking to Joshua. Stop giving him instructions. Just do it, let go, Jarrod. Let go. Let her go, bull.
Right. So yeah, for me, it's like if I would have done what you did and had an edit come back to me the way that I gave you your edit back. So in other words, if I disconnected myself from myself and I recorded, but editing Josh versus talent Josh had no idea what was going on, and then had given me back an edit that lacked the majority of the footage that was recorded and didn't tell a story that I necessarily would have chose, I'm not sure I would have went back to editing Josh to ever do another edit for me.
It's fascinating.
However, if I, Talent Josh, gave editing Jarrod the footage that I gave him that I recorded with the edit in mind, but had no control over the edit. Like, I didn't see the finished product until 8 a.m. when it went live. I woke up, I mean, you gave it to me middle of the night. I went to sleep. I actually got some good sleep that night. Woke up 5:30, get ready for work, uploaded it to YouTube, and then took off. And that was it. I didn't watch it until I got back, and then I watched it, and I added in, end cards and end screen. Well, end screen was already in there because that's easy to do. It's just like import from previous. But I had no idea. So then I watch it, it comes back, and it's the exact story that I would have told myself. In that scenario, this Talent Josh would love to use Editor Jarrod all the time. Because that was a dream. It was like, I just had to grab the camera and record and then send off the footage, and I got to sleep at night. Come on, that's amazing. So in those scenarios, that's where different people, if they're thinking about the editing process, you said what, 75% of it?
I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at least.
I don't
think 75 might be undervaluing it a little bit.
Well, I don't want to diminish the talent. I mean, because a good portion of my business is fanning the flame of some really talented one-take people who go out there and get it. But I cannot deny that if they want to look like they are on this planet at all, or hitting their topics at all, or doing whatever they're desired to do, it's the edit. It is the edit.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: the reason I would say the edit is definitely that much, if not a little bit more, is looking at my video in particular. You edited it, and it's the exact story that I had. But even in recording, it was recording with the edit in mind. So the editing process kind of started at the moment of recording and thinking about, okay, and I probably shouldn't have done that because it's a true editor swap, but as a solo content creator, that's how I'm wired, because it's the only way I can save myself time is to record with the edit in mind. And so because of that, it's like, all right, here we go. And that's where I think the edit process was so much. And then when I look at like your footage, I think that there could have been a better story there, but it's not from the lack of what you gave me. It was me on a time frame looking at what I had, and it was like, how do I get this out? How do I get it to him? And winding it down. And I think you and I had even Skyped, or I don't know, we chatted the night before, and I was like, I had this at like the full thing, and then I chopped it down to about like 14 minutes, and then I chopped it down to like 12 minutes, and then down to about 10, and I keep going back through, and it just doesn't quite work the way I'm thinking it needs to work. And before it's said and done, it's probably going to be like 6 or 7 minutes.
Well, what you're describing right there is a double-edged sword for me. It's both my greatest passion, maybe not greatest, but significantly up there, and greatest fear. There's the passion side. I want to take young, new, fresh believers, as they don't have to be young, they can be old, but you know what I mean, like who are hungry in the field, young in the field, and they want to make video, they want to do things. I want to help them. I want to pass on a skill. Used to be carpentry. I think we've talked about it a couple times on this channel. Used to be carpentry, used to be electrical, all that sort of thing. They've got they do their thing. But in this digital world, you need to be able to video. You need to be able to do some sound alterations. You got to be able to handle that and edit. And I really, really, really want to do that. My greatest fear is that you get somebody who's not as invested. They may say that they are, but everyone has a limited amount of time. And maybe like with the video that you sent over to me, I could not do my own stuff and edit that style of video if you were going to pass that on every day. That was
correct.
That was a big one, and you would have to have somebody who's invested in your stuff or in the job, the mission, and you would have to count you'd have to keep them accountable, and the whole process of things.
Yeah.
But maybe that's possible in ministry. I don't know if that's possible in hiring out an editor. For those of you who are looking to hire that out, because you would have to stay on them in order to keep the quality up.
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on,
or communicate super effectively.
Yeah, it's got to be part of it. See, I don't know, because from the talent standpoint, I gave you the stuff and I just walked away.
Yeah.
Like I didn't communicate. I think I sent you one message about something. Oh, I left this in that. And then I was like, never mind. I'm not supposed to talk to you. And then I just stopped.
Sure.
And apart from that, I didn't. So I think it's finding the right person. Because the other thing that I think everybody here on this stream, everybody that knows us, everybody that's kind of followed us through this journey, we're very similar in what we're trying to accomplish, our style, our choices, some of our mannerisms, and just overall personalities. And because of that, and because I know you so well and you know me so well, I think it's easier to try to pull out the other person's tone and voice in that. So I would have no problem doing, like, for me to ever go like daily, like Casey did, where it's a new video every single day, I would have to have an editor. Mm-hmm. It would just, I can't be a pastor, be a bus driver, be a YouTuber, and everything else that I try to do. I just can't. There's not enough time in the day.
What if your livelihood was wrapped around it? Would you outsource to an editor?
Oh, probably.
So you would trust me. Well, I'm different. You would trust. You hired Logan. Logan's getting into editing. He's cheap, price is right, and you've got a brand deal coming up, and it needs to be done well. You would trust Logan to smash that out? If you filmed it, you sent it off.
Yep. If he had already been doing what already been editing my stuff, like you start out with an editor, you try a few things. You're not going to do the big money stuff on it at first. But yeah, I hire him out, a few times, and he comes back and he's bringing me the same quality that I'm used to. Absolutely. And even if it's down a little bit of quality, but it relieves me of the burden and the time of having to do it, it's that value prop. What do I value more? But man, I would have absolutely no problem, because in order to actually scale, that's about the only way you're going to. You think about that for a church. As a pastor of a small church, the ceiling is going to be me and my leadership. Am I going to hold on to everything, or am I willing to start delegating and handing things out? No, they may not do worship the way I would do it. No, they may not do the announcements the way. They may not, minister at the hospitals or the homes the way that I would do. No, they may not preach the way I do. But if I have to do it all, well, then nothing's getting done. And that would be the thing, that at some point, to take what we're doing into a profitable business type model, it has to be able to scale. And then at that point, you've got to start hiring a team around.
Right.
If I get to that aspect, yes, I could. Do I think you have to? No. But there's a certain level where you would want to. You can even look at, like, the biggest creators out there are all doing that, because it gets to the point where the supply and demand, and you become the bottleneck on the supply. The audience is demanding more of it, and they're wanting more and they're wanting more, but you can only do so much. And that's where, how do I keep creating all of these videos and coming up with the ideas and making sure that I've got the energy for it, and then spend hours on the edit? And that's where there's a bottleneck at that point. So I could do it, but will I do it? I don't know. I've got a few channels that I try to work on at the same time. So yes, Logan's going to be winding up doing some of it. It's just going to happen. So,
hey, Logan, labor's worthy of his wages.
Yep, I give him a roof over his head.
Yeah.
So Andy had said, would either of you enjoy that process enough to vlog edit for a living? And I'm assuming that means edit other people's vlogs for a living. No.
I'm way too much of a diva for that. No.
I've honestly I've had multiple people reach out to me and try to hire me to edit their stuff, and I turn them all down. And I could make a decent living just editing other people's videos. But no.
Do you want to know? Okay, so maybe I said 75% of the success is in the edit. 75% then of the suck of making a video is the edit.
So here, I might
I
clarify
know you
on
like
this.
it. I know you like it. Go for it.
No. I hate editing. It's a love-hate relationship. I love the creative process of learning new things and trying new things and having this idea in my mind, and then we put it out on this canvas known as YouTube, and we see it come to fruition. That's amazing. It's that creative aspect that we have in that's so cool. But you're right. It's also the biggest suck from it. Now, you said 75% of the success is in the edit. I would say 75% of the work is in the edit, but 75% of the success is in the talent.
No, I totally 150 million% disagree. I'll tell you why.
Tell me. Fight me on this. Let's go.
I will. I will take it out of the vlog world and go to weddings where we've had to slam a camera in a kid or a bystander's hand, or my wife who's learning, or Jason who's rolling with me, and the camera operator sucks. The couple doesn't love one another really. It's a disaster, and they're wanting a video, and you're just like, oh, hey, the lighting's off. The sound quality's bad, but you're still able to pull out a gem. I tell you, good sir, it's in the edit.
I'm not going to argue with that scenario, but I'm going to put a caveat on this because
it's better with talent.
It's better with talent, but I have seen a lot of poorly shot wedding videos that are still amazing. And people think it's amazing. And I think it's because of the emotional and the sentimental attachment to it, which kind of trumps other things.
True.
But I would also say that part of the wedding and that type of videography is a different form of videography. It's a completely different beast. Like, oh, I can vlog, I can hold a camera, I can hold my phone up and I can talk into it, so I can go record a wedding. No. Not even close. You try it, you're going to butcher it, and they're going to hate their footage for the rest of their marriage. Don't do that. Not.
You sound like my first wedding. How hard can it be?
Oh yeah, this isn't going to be that hard, and all of a sudden you get it and you realize, oh wait, they can't do
this couple's.
Yeah, there's no do-over on this. However, when I'm thinking about vlogging, when I'm thinking about videos, when I'm thinking about a teaching type, no, I think the majority of the success of that is in the talent, because I have sat there and I have watched long, here's a perfect example of just kind of a long, monotonous 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast with very minimal editing. But you know why that's successful? Because Joe Rogan knows how to interview people and keep people's attention by asking questions and leading you along this journey of having a conversation. And not everybody can sit down and have a 3-hour podcast like that. Joe Rogan can, and he's the most successful out there in the world. I sit there and I look at, okay, you've got guys like, PewDiePie, who skyrockets to success from playing video games. Guess what? Everybody else tried to play video games. They tried to use the same cameras. They tried to use the same microphones. They tried to use the same gear, playing the exact same games. But somehow PewDiePie winds up being the largest solo creator in the world. Why? Because of his personality. Because of his talent and his ability to just capture the audience. So that's where I think a lot of the success comes from who's on the camera and that talent in there. In a similar way where you're talking about, like, you go on the Heart of Many Colors type deal, the talent that you've got there and you're trying to fan that flame and help them, and they're shining in their element, which then gives you, as the videographer, it makes your job so much easier. And that's the other thing. It's like, how much easier is it to edit and to record when you've got good talent to work with? I mean, even photography, if you get a model with you, somebody that knows how to pose, kind of knows what you're thinking ahead of time, and knows how to communicate, that it makes your job a whole lot easier. So that's where I say I think a lot of the more of the success is on the talent side.
I
the
got
work
you.
is in the edit.
I could concede to say it will be more successful if you have good talent.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a disaster if you have bad talent. It can be saved in the edit.
This is true. This is true because I like my very first vlog, as I call a vlog, walking around documenting the journey type of video. That one was Micah's birthday a few years ago. I had no idea what I was doing. This is before I'd even launched the YouTube channel, and I just pulled out my phone, and it was a birthday, and I recorded a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit here, and it was like, maybe this will do something and work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. And it wasn't until like 4 months later that I actually sat down and edited it, and I think it took me like 2 weeks to get that. But that was a case where, yes, I was able to save bad talent in the edit. Now that I have developed as an on-air type talent, it's so much easier. Anyhow, that's that thing. Dustin says that I need to make a cartoon of Jarrod to put on his side of the screen when we can't see Jarrod.
I'm working on it.
I thought about that. I really thought about that.
I was gonna screen share, but I don't think I can screen share without taking over the entire thing. I was gonna screen share for you, kind of the feed and maybe the questions and stuff. But
no, you can. Yeah, if you screen share, all I'm going to see is whatever's in that little box because it's basically a mask on that. I'll get to some of these other comments. J. Cole say, I appreciate you shorting videos. I do like the content, but it still keeps you engaged, even if a little long.
It hurts so good. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Dustin saying, oh, I see. Josh's videos are opposite of his sermons. Short versus, well, you know. Hey, it's been years since you've heard my sermons. Most of my sermons now are in between the 30 to 35 minute range. I'm no longer pressing an hour and 15 minutes.
You tell him.
So
Hey, is Dustin older or younger than you?
he is older.
Okay.
He is older.
I always forget the order.
Whatever else he wants to say, I'll just let him say it. Those that know. So J. Cole saying digital storytelling is a great skill set to learn and fun to teach, maybe profitable done the right way. I like where your head's at on that. Dustin says, hey, I want to let you both know that I ordered a chicken and an egg off of Amazon last night. I'll let you know what happens. We'll see which came first.
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
So John Hayes saying it's similar to if you were to preach off of someone else's sermon notes. So editing somebody else's video, preaching off their sermon notes. Yeah, I could kind of see that. It can be done. And it can be done well. Like it really can be done well. One of the best sermons that I ever heard, it was a sermon series on the armor of God. And it was from Willie George, Church on the Move down in Tulsa. And he did this series on the armor of God. And it was remarkable and it was amazing. And I was like 3 episodes in on it, 3 different messages in. And I'm like, man, this sounds like I've heard this before, but it's a new series and he hasn't taught it before. And I don't know what was happening. And then I realized that he was getting a lot of his notes and stuff from a book that Rick Renner had written on the whole armor of God. And then it was like, oh, and then it started to make sense, but it was still unique and it was still, Willie George style. So, it can definitely be done and it can be done well. I think a lot of it is finding the right pairing. You know what I mean? It's like if I'm preaching somebody else's, I don't know, maybe somebody else's sermon notes, it would have to be somebody that kind of sees things the way I do, interprets the way that I do for it to actually work. Otherwise, it's just going to feel foreign and I don't think it will work. And I thought that might work there, Jarrod, but apparently it's not.
It doesn't look like it. So, I will stop sharing.
I don't know what that was. Your best bet might actually be just to select your own profile picture if you have one. Actually, you don't even have one. It's just a JB. That's what you've got. So, anyways, let's see. Dustin is asking, what is the difference between a literalist and a kleptomaniac? A comma. A literalist takes everything literally. A kleptomaniac takes everything literally. Dustin's just doing that because he said we were too serious. Dustin, if you think we're too serious, then apparently you have not watched this morning's vlogs.
Oh,
Go watch
my word. Oh, my word.
Watch those. It is awesome. Andy McMillan saying, vlogging is pretty different, though, than shooting a wedding, don't you think? I do think it is. It's different in the essence of, oh, it's a camera and I'm pointing at something and I'm recording. Yes, but totally different styles and different end goals in mind. So, yeah, I would say it's different, which is where I would concede to what Jarrod's point was, that the majority of the success is in the edit in certain scenarios, in certain situations. Absolutely. Like real estate videography and stuff like that. What's your talent? A house that was maybe staged properly? No, it's going to be the videographer and it's going to be the editor. And that's really what's going to help. And even a lot of the edit, when we do videography, it's some of even the recording is thinking with the edit in mind. Like even this right here, I've chosen a specific lens and specific camera settings because I know how I want it to look. And so that's thinking with the end in mind. So yeah, anyways, Vaughn says, I had to jump off a bit. I guess Jarrod gave up on the camera. Yeah, pretty much. Dustin says, I will say that Josh was a better wrestler than me. He says, I'm humble. You're
just going to let that one linger.
I don't know how to respond to that. I'm not going to disagree with him, though. Here's the other thing. When it comes to that, actually, I would disagree to a certain extent. Style. Context. Better wrestler how? Better wrestler in a dog collar match? Nope. Not me. I don't like getting punched in the head with a chain. Hurts. And Dustin says, I'm reading a horror story in Braille. Something bad is about to happen. I can feel it.
Okay. Yeah.
John Hayes saying, Dustin, you didn't have a chance. We have gone off the rails now. Gone off the rails, I tell you. Off the rails. Look at the glowing face. Look at the glowing face. There's a glowing face right there playing.
There she is.
Something.
I like that hat. Look at her.
She got a nice hat there. And she's got headphones on so she can hear. She's got extra long cable drooped around the room. So
that's our producer right there in the studio.
Yep, in studio, off camera producer. Yep, John.
You don't
when
even
were
have
we
to...
ever on the rails?
Truth.
I was gonna say. I mean, we try to keep this along the lines of something that resembles. Like
I'm a
we know
floating
what we're doing,
S.
Yeah.
I mean, for the love of all that's good, I'm a floating S today.
You're a big old Skype logo.
How are we supposed to take this seriously? Only the people on the podcast are going to get this and go, okay, that was a good one.
Yep. And yes, Mom saying, Dustin, have you watched today's vlogs? If I remember correctly, you introduced us to VeggieTales, and I would say that is correct. He says he'll watch it tonight with Danielle, and then once you do, you'll see the comedy gold, and you will realize why Jarrod and I are now serious, because we have a challenge that we've got to work on for tomorrow that I haven't even started, and Jarrod's partially started. Yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Started. I'm so frustrated. No, I'm done. I should be done.
You should be, but you're not.
Oh, Clint.
Good stuff. Anyways, are we blaming that one on Clint?
Or whoever was the last one in? Ken?
Oh, that was Ken.
Okay.
Ken was the last one in. But if we're going to blame it on the last one in, then we've got to blame it on me, because I had this idea a week ago and I didn't send anything to him until like 2 days ago.
Okay, so this makes so much more sense. I'm like, dude, you sent it to him a week ago. What took him so long? Never mind.
I didn't. We had the conversation. I wrote down the note. It's on my notepad. And then I got up and I started recording, and then I came back and I never look at my notepad. I think after looking at the footage that you had that I excluded from your vlog, I need a lot of sticky notes all over the place.
Dude, they're just increasing.
Actually, that probably won't help me. Nothing's going to help me. I don't know as I can be helped. So, Christian point of view saying, "Shalom, brother. Peace."
I love that beard.
Yes, it is an epic beard.
I hope that's what he really looks like. That's cool.
I'm
Hey, you're going for something. Something's happening. You didn't shave it.
Something's happening. I didn't shave. I trimmed. I cleaned.
I see that. I see that.
But I found this little thing likes to curl under, and it's like the whole thing. It just wants to go like off one side. So I don't know what to do. Anyways, that's my beard for you. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Anything else you want to talk about, Jarrod? Or never mind.
Man.
Anything you want to talk about? Floating S on the screen.
I'm just hanging out, just floating around. Jeez. No, man. I think that's it. I'm enjoying as much as we've hated on it, as far as long hours, and I'm enjoying this Vlogmas. This is my favorite time. I love waking up in the morning and having 32 notifications from YouTube. It's just fun. That means there's people talking, things are going on. That's a good day. That's a good day. It's what you would hope for in your channel. Not necessarily subscribers, view counts, that sort of thing, but people who are truly connecting.
Yes. Agreed.
Worth it.
Agreed. It's
Every
worth
time
it.
I want to poo-poo this, it's worth it.
It's been fun. It's been enjoyable. I hope to never do it again.
Well, you're the dude who talks us into this every time. Yeah.
I know. I do, but it's a bad idea. Like, nobody should ever listen to me. Don't listen to me.
Mark my words. Come January
Nope.
1st, he's going to be talking about or have dropped.
I'm already talking about daily vlogging, daily vlogging for all of 2021. It won't be uploading a video every day, but it'll be recording a video every day, a la Gene Nagata. But I don't know if I actually want to do that. Because if I do that and then we get to, actually, I might want to do that. Because then that would prevent me from doing Veda or Vlogist or Vlogmas.
Because you're already busy. You do that every day. Oh, yeah. Nice out. Nice
I like
out.
that idea.
Well played, sir. Well played.
That might be a good idea. I'm liking this more and more, but then I got to commit to grabbing a camera every single day of the year. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that at all.
Well, here, let me tell you this about that. I am down for a Veda. I'm down for a Vlogmas. Let's do whatever it is that you want to do. Let's vlog every day. But next Christmas, if I'm alive, if the Lord hasn't come back, I'm out. This is my last Vlogmas for a while.
Yeah,
this month is nuts.
I'm wondering whose bright idea was this? Who thought this was a good idea?
If the floating S had hands, he would be pointing straight at you.
Whoever did. I mean, I did this in 2018. There's a reason I didn't do it in 2019. Apparently, I forgot that reason. Thank you very much, 2020. It's 2020, the gift that just keeps on giving.
Dude, this has been the best and longest year ever.
Yep. Agree. Yeah. So, yeah. Yep. See, Mom's saying vlogging every day sounds like a bad idea.
Josh.
Dean sounds like so much work.
Yes.
Yep. Jay, take a break. One may lose touch with the reality of vlogging every day. I'm there, but then Tomlinson Road. I like the every few day vlog like Gene. I do too. I do too. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun.
But Gene also has 2 editors in his house.
This is true. But he also has another channel that is massive and that requires lots of extra work.
You got to wonder if Sam would rather just be hanging out on the vlog channel. You know? I come back to this all the time because I'm like, man, I should probably do some more central content, that's really straight, widens the net, reaches more people, that sort of thing. And then I do one that usually fails horribly, but I do one and I'm like, that's not fun.
Yeah.
I'd rather be vlogging. I'd rather be having a daily conversation with folks. This is fun.
Yeah.
Vlogmas 2021.
Yep. Genevieve's saying, what then you could just use what you didn't share in your everyday. No. Don't be trying to talk me into doing a daily vlog and a daily vlog challenge.
You know he's doing it anyway.
No. No. She's supposed to be loving me and telling me never do a daily vlog challenge again.
She loves you. Oh, she loves you.
Do we think we'll get J. Cole to rock a concert on here? No. Not the same not the same one, but I see where you're going. Yes. Anyways, I think that's all I've got. I think I should probably go start editing some transitions. And I think Vaughn said he wanted some tutorials on it, which means I'm probably just going to say, watch a bunch of YouTube videos and figure it out like I did. That doesn't work for everybody. I've tried it and it doesn't work because somehow I'm able to figure things out through reading or viewing or listening between the lines on so many edits, and then I forget what I'm doing and people ask me how to do it, and then I have to go learn it again because I'm too nice and I want to tell them how to do it. Might as well just tell them in the first place.
I've benefited so much.
Yeah. Andy McMillan saying happy transition. Thank you very much.
Wait a minute, Andy.
No, I am transitioning.
Let it go. Let it go.
I'm going to transition. That's Andy with his comments. I am going to transition into an unidentified.
I'm recording this.
Something. I'm transitioning.
Floating S. Join the club.
Transitioning. You just leave me and my identification alone. I will identify
as an S.
As a vlogger. I don't know. Anyways, Thomas and Rhodes say, yeah, I'm not saying I could do it or that y'all should do it. I'm just saying it's a cool idea.
There you
John
go.
Hayes, can you post a video on the What Joshua channel saying to watch a video on it? Can you post a
video on What Joshua's channel? On Joshua's channel, too. Watch a video on it. I missed that one.
I'm not sure what that means. I guarantee it's a lack of sleep and I just can't see. Vaughn is now abandoning me because I said I'm transitioning.
Bye, Vaughn.
Oh no, he's just saying he's trying to give me content. There we go. Yes, ask Jarrod where in the video. Ask Jarrod where in the video is when we visited. Yes, that was the thing. I was going to ask you. You said that the video that you recorded when they visited, and I'm like, where's that video at? I've seen all of your videos. It's not there. I have not seen that.
Is that not in the vlogs?
I don't think
somewhere?
You actually. I think you recorded. I don't think you actually put it out.
Oh, well, my bad.
Hey, if I missed one, I might have missed one, but I don't think so.
Well, Dustin mentioned something about that the other day, and I was like, oh, yeah, I need to go in and tag it because I didn't actually tag it. I was like, I'll link it up here. And I've been doing that a lot. I'm just forgetting to link it. So I was like, I'll go back and get it. But I may not have, if you're saying it's not in there, I may not have put it in one. Yeah. It's recorded for sure. We'll throw it in one this week. How about that?
There you go. You've got content now of him asking where it was, and then you can just talk about how.
I'm just going to use you transitioning over and over and over
again.
I
am transitioning into somebody who thinks that Vlogmas is a good idea to somebody who thinks that Vlogmas is the world's worst idea. I'm transitioning into an adult that realizes the value of sleep. I'm transitioning into a child that keeps changing his mind all the time because now I'm thinking about daily vlogging in 2021. What is wrong with me?
Do it.
I can't even identify what I am myself. At least
he's questioning.
You guys know what I'm talking about. You should do a video collection. A life of marriage and ministry. Like it. Dustin says never posted. He says you're thinking too much about it. Vaughn asked about a tutorial. You said you'd probably just tell him to watch a video on it. Yeah, versus... Yeah, well, yeah, I could do that. Now I see what you're talking about. Yeah, do a video on the What Joshua channel talking about, go watch this video that teaches you how to do it. I got you. That's a whole lot easier than me doing the whole teaching.
You're more awake than I am. I have no idea.
I like
yes.
I know. Yeah, I know. I introduced you to Hertz Donut. I'm uncomfortable with all these transitions. I'm uncomfortable with where this thing has gone. Dean said it. You know what? You know what I'm uncomfortable with? Drinking all this coffee and still sitting here. I'm out, guys. Jarrod, you're done, right?
I'm gonna hover around for a little while, and then I'll probably materialize and get to work.
All right. Well, hey, stay blessed. Enjoy God's best. Have a fantabulous day. We're glad you all joined us. See you in the vlog tomorrow.